Hi, everyone. We're just going to give it another minute or so for everyone to populate this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Leila Paltry. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission here at Andover. Welcome to Andover at Home, the Arts at Andover. So tonight you will have an opportunity to hear from our students and our arts chairs about the amazing experience that you can have here at Andover participating in the arts. So we'll give it just one, oh my goodness, we've got so many people here today. So excited to have you. Again, thank you for joining us either in the morning, depending on your time zone, in the evening. We are so thrilled to have you today. Again, my name is Leila Paltry. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission here at Andover. My many hats here at Andover. I live in a girls' dorm, 910. I am also an advisor. I advise a few programs here on campus. I advise Blue Strut, which is our jazz group. I also advise a science and community engagement group here. And I also teach dance. So that's kind of where my hat is tonight with the arts. So that being said, let's have the arts chairs introduce themselves. Awesome. Mr. Zader, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Thayer Zader. I'm the current Visual Arts Chair. Thank you all for tuning in. Looking forward to connecting with you tonight.
Thanks. Ms. Siegfried.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Siegfried, and I'm the chair of the music department. I'm also really looking forward to talking with you about arts at Andover and answering any questions you have a little bit later. Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Grimm.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mr. Grimm and I'm the current chair of the Theater and Dance Department.
Wonderful. So Soman on the student side, kick us off.
Hello, my name is Soman Ramani. I am in the class of 22, yay, seniors. And I've been at Andover for 4 years now, and actually I'm a day student from Andover, Mass. And I'm associated with both the music department and the theater and dance department. So with the theater and dance department, I'm one of the co-directors of the student dance board, and in the music department, I am a student organist, and I also am the co-head of Fidelio with one of the other students on this panel who will soon introduce themselves. And yeah, I kick it off to the next person.
Thanks, Daniela.
Hi, I'm Daniela. I'm also a senior. I'm in Fidelio with Soman, and I've been in Fidelio for the past 3 years and chorus for the past 4 years. And then I also, I'm lightly involved in the theater department. I was in Les Mis last year, and I've done some drama labs. But I guess the main thing is I do visual art on campus, and I'm in Art 600. I'm an illustration associate. Yeah.
Thanks, Daniela. Emily?
Hello, I'm Emily Xia. I'm a 4-year senior from Hong Kong. So I am associated mainly with visual arts, but I also do drama labs. I've done graphic designs for a lot of clubs on campus, from like Courant to drama labs. I also run a digital art club called Scribbles. I'm also in Art 600, and yeah.
Thanks, Emily. Melanie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melanie. I'm a senior from Lawrence, Massachusetts, and I'm mostly associated with the theater department. In that area, I'm a producer, which is like one of the student leaders in the theater department. I also have some experience in chorus. Yeah.
Thanks, Melanie. Kate.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Horton. I'm a senior from Austin, Texas. I'm a 3-year senior, which means I came in as a new lower. And I'm sort of associated both with the theater and the music department. On the music side, I am also Fidelio co-head. I'm a member of chorus, and I'm a downbeat co-head, which is one of our 4 a cappella groups on campus. And then in the theater side, I'm also a producer, which is one of our student leaders. And I also have been in many, many productions.
Thanks, Kate. Lexi.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm a 3-year senior from Bermuda. I'm fully only associated with the dance department. So on campus, I am the Andover Dance Group co-head, as well as last year's Dance Open director. I'm also the co-head of Blue Strut, which is the jazz dance club on campus.
Awesome. Thanks, Lexi. Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Cho. I am a 4-year senior from Seoul, South Korea. And I'm also only affiliated with the music department, although I did take Art 225. because it was a requirement. But I am a violinist. I'm the concert master of both orchestras, and I'm also part of the chamber music program. And I'm part of this really cool community engagement program called ALS, where we teach 4th graders to 8th graders from Lawrence how to play the violin, piano, or cello.
Thanks, Kathy. And last but not least, Lev.
Hi, I'm Lev. I'm a 3-year upper from Wenham, Massachusetts. And on campus, I am associated with music and a little bit of theater. I'm in chorus in Fidelio and also in Yorkies, which is campus's all boys a cappella group. And I'm a co-head of the songwriting club on campus. Thank you.
Thanks, Lev. And Mr. Zader, would you kick us off with visual arts? What do we do with visual arts at Andover?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a little bit like speed dating. I'll give you a snapshot of what you might run into if you were to take a course in the visual arts department. So quickly, just to give you a sense of the staff, we are 6 full-time instructors in the art department, as well as 2 part-time faculty members. We have 15 designated art studios, which is an incredible luxury. So we have dedicated studios for painting, drawing, ceramics, architecture. I could go on and on. If you come as a 9th grader, you'll take a required foundation course that was mentioned here already tonight, visual studies. It's kind of the first hoop that we ask all entering visual arts students to take. 9th graders take that. After you complete that course, if you come as a 9th grader, you can choose from our panoply of Art 300 electives. If you enter as a lower or an upper or a senior, you can jump right into our 300 level electives. So at the 300 level, we have courses in painting, drawing, graphic design, video, ceramics, architecture, photography, both digital and wet photography. We also offer a class in 3D design that works with a makerspace. We have a makerspace in the OWL library now. That's just a quick look at, the number of electives that we offer. We do offer both 300 level and 500 level in all of those disciplines. So if you get hooked on ceramics, you'll be studying with me. I'm in the ceramics glaze lab as we speak. And you can take both introductory ceramics, advanced ceramics, and in any discipline, if you kind of exhaust the curriculum, you can then design your own coursework. And if you get approved, you can actually do what's called an independent project with a faculty mentor, get credit for that, and really go deep in a particular area of expertise. Apart from that, I'll just mention the Addison Gallery of American Art, which is an amazing resource on campus that the art department uses quite a lot in our teaching. And then the Peabody Institute of Archaeology is also something we tap often. That's another institution right here on campus. There's been a few art clubs mentioned already. There are several extracurricular opportunities to work in the visual arts at Andover too. So that's a quick broad brush.
Thanks, Mr. Zader. Mr. Grimm for theater and dance.
Hello. We do 6 faculty directed or choreographed pieces per year. We do 3 to 4 student directed productions, and we do 3 or 4 student choreographed productions. And then from there, we go in a lot of different ways. We are both in the academic realm, the athletic realm, and the co-curricular realm. We do drama labs about 5 or 6 weekends out of each term. And so students can get involved in a co-curricular way. We also do fulfill an arts requirement, but we do not specifically have a class designated for that.
Thanks, Mr. Grimm. Ms. Siegfried?
Yes. So all of you as new incoming students to Andover, whether music is your thing or not, will actually take a music placement test. And one of the, I think, really special things about Andover, both Mr. Grimm and Mr. Zader mentioned this, is that students actually are required to take classes in the arts. So all of you will take a music class, and you'll take the class that is best suited to your level. We have a foundations class very similar to the art class that Mr. Zader described. And in that class, you'll learn all kinds of tools and technologies that will help you access all levels of our curriculum. So you can come in as a beginning music student. You also can come in and take AP Music Theory right off the bat. But even if you come in as a beginning musician, you can access all of the exciting electives in our curriculum, which range from songwriting to film scoring to jazz history to popular music history. It's also possible to develop your own independent project. Kathy can speak to that a little bit later. You really can explore every aspect of music in our curriculum. We also have an incredibly robust and vibrant co-curricular program here. You can take music lessons in everything from pipe organ, like Soman mentioned, to bagpipes, to trumpet, to songwriting, to Alexander technique, to violin, and on and on. And you also can participate in one of our many ensembles. We have multiple orchestras, we have multiple concert bands, we have a jazz band, we have multiple choirs, we have a handbell choir, we have a gospel choir, and then we have lots of music clubs like Kate and Lev and Kat. I think every musician on here mentioned those. They range from a cappella groups to a really fabulous drum line that performs at a lot of our athletic events, to a songwriting club that Lev is part of, and we host coffee houses where students can perform their own compositions. We also have a really ever-growing music production club and program on campus, and we have a new building coming, which is really exciting. So you see behind me old graves, but in your time here as a new student, you will get to enter our new music building where all of these different aspects of music will come together under one roof. So that's a quick snapshot. Basically, you can find a home in our program no matter what you do, and we're excited to welcome you to Andover. Thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Siegfried. So you've heard a little introduction of our wonderful programs, visual art, theater and dance, and music. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Mr. Graber, who is helping us with the Q&A. I know sometimes we have very specific minutiae, like these very specific questions about the different arts programs that we have here. So after we hear a little bit from our students, what we'll do is we'll break out into different rooms. I'll add the meeting rooms to the chat box. And what you can do is once we've separated, you'll go into each of these art rooms, either theater and dance, visual art, or music, and you can ask specific questions about those programs. But before we do that, we'd love to hear more from some of our students. So I'd love to hear about how you became introduced to the arts at Andover. Was it through, Art 225, which was mentioned, Music 225, a club? I don't know. How did you become interested and involved? Who would like to go first? Lexi, thanks.
Sure. I was actually introduced to the arts through a current student. She was class of 21. She was also the co-head of Blue Strut, and she was actually my revisit person. So during my revisit, she actually brought me to the studios. She introduced me to all the faculty members, and I was really able to find my community there very quickly. As someone who had been dancing before Andover for so many years, it just felt so comfortable, going into that community that was already made, and they were so welcoming that it just made sense for me to continue to grow and support that community the same way that they supported me as an incoming lower.
Thanks, Lexi. Who else would like to add? Emily.
I think part of it is definitely don't be afraid to try out in any of the departments. So visual art, I did start out in Art 225, but as someone who was always interested in arts, especially digital art, I wanted to create a digital art club and even got an ABBA grant for it. Same thing with drama labs, I've tried out. I also participated in theater productions in my freshman year, and it's also just part of trying out. So after I participated in drama labs and Courant, I kind of moved on to the board, which I did more graphic design. So it's really, I think, don't be afraid to try out, and all the opportunities are there. And now I'm also in pursuing, I think Mr. Zader mentioned this, in an independent project, which is where you design your own course. And it's an interdisciplinary course on art and philosophy. So there are many opportunities for the arts at Andover. And I think you should just be willing to explore and don't think, oh, I'm only going to be associated in this department, but rather spread out and really try.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, Melanie. Oh, Melanie, Soman, Kathy, let's go. Melanie, go for it.
Well, I remember my freshman year. First of all, I came into Andover with like no theater experience whatsoever. I just knew I wanted to do it. So I remember my freshman year in the fall, there was a Drama Labs mixer, and the producers from that year hosted it. And basically, if you don't know what Drama Labs are, they're just an experience for students to do short plays. It's super low commitment, it's super fun. Sometimes people just do Drama Labs and do nothing else in the theater department to just have a good time. Um, so after one of the drama labs, there was a mixer, and the producers let anyone like approach them and just ask questions about what we wanted to know in the theater department. And I remember it was a member of the class of 19. And he told me that like whatever I wanted to do, I could just try. I could like try to do I like could try and do drama labs, I could tech, I could act, or just do anything I wanted to. So that fall, even though I had no experience whatsoever, again, I decided to try and tech for the first time for Grasshopper, which is our annual student showcase that happens in the fall. And I had a great time. And like since then, I've like continued to tech, and I've branched towards acting as well. Um, and it's just been like a really great experience. So like if you have zero experience and you just want to try, then just try. There's going to be a place for you here.
Thanks, Melanie. Who was next? Is it Kathy? Yeah, go Kathy. Thanks.
Adding on to Emily's point, I think it's, yes, really important to try new things and like not be afraid, but also I realized that you can also discover more interest in like what you already are interested in and you know what you're going to do. So coming into Andover, I knew I was going to be part of the orchestra. I knew I was going to be playing the violin, but I didn't know I would come to love it this much, because at first I was just doing it for just like an emotional relief. But then going there and seeing everyone so engrossed by music, and like our concert master, Luke Henderson, he was just a lower at that time, but he would go into the music, like dig in, and like you would see him enjoy it so much. Like how could one possibly enjoy like playing the violin this much? And I realized that like it was so good to see, and I just wanted to emulate that. So I did, and then I love music as much as, hopefully as much as he does now. And like I realized how much I love music, and I found another passion for music. So like even if you're already interested and you already know the path you're going to take, like you can extend that passion.
Thanks, Kathy. Soman?
Yeah, I'll just like second how much the people that you'll find in the music department, theater department, and art department will like inspire you. I remember as a freshman, I went on the Portugal tour to Portugal. I sang with the touring choir, and then I became friends with multiple students, all of whom like inspired me. One of them, her name was Paige, kind of inspired me in part to start playing the organ, or playing in small chamber groups, and just like befriending like older students, and then like talking to them about their musical experiences, and then also sharing with them these really profound musical moments, which I still remember, still have on video, still come back to from time to time. Just reminds me of so many great things. Even in dance, I actually didn't come to Andover thinking I would be a big dancer, but then I just took dance as a sport, which is one of the sport offerings. You can take all 3 terms with like classes in like modern dance, ballet, jazz dance. We're soon going to have hip hop, maybe next term or in the spring, which is exciting. And then just like meeting new students, and I met a few students who did Chinese dance, and I actually earlier, like in my childhood, did some Indian dance forms, and then together we started the Asian Performing Arts Club. So these things happen so organically. You make friendships like where you would not even expect, even in Music 400. That's where I met Kathy in part, and we became close friends. And everything will just happen organically, and you'll really enjoy yourself.
Thanks, Soman. Oh, Kate, go for it.
In terms of the theater department, I've always been acting. I've been acting ever since I could speak. And so I sort of came in being like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to come in. I'm going to get the lead. I'm going to be the best in the whole department. Spoiler alert, I did not do that. But I came in and I sort of started acting, and I was in a couple of plays. And then at the beginning of my upper year, I took a scene design class because I was like, why not? And I found out that I really, really loved sort of taking the metaphors from scripts and turning that into set designs. And then I tried stage managing this fall, which I also absolutely loved. And I took a directing class, and I'll be directing a show in the spring. So there's so many different things to try, even if you come in thinking this is your thing. There are so many things to branch out and try and learn. And you might end up loving it, you might end up hating it, but it's a great experience all around. Um, Additionally, in terms of the music department, coming in as a lower, I talk about this a lot, but I originally was not going to audition for Fidelio. My mom had come to Andover and was told me that it was like our varsity singing group. And so I was really, really scared, and I didn't think that I would be able to do something as sort of like, I guess, high quality as that. And so my mom was like, just try it, just go for it. If you don't get in, like the worst thing that they're going to say is no. So I came into that audition room. I was like, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go for it. And now here I am 2 years later, a co-head of said group. So the biggest takeaway from all of these little like short stories is that trying new things and going for it, even if you don't think you're going to get it, is the biggest thing, because you'll be surprised about like what ends up working out for you and what doesn't, and what doors open and what windows you see.
Thanks, Kate. Oh, Daniela.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of what Kate was saying about you really being able to choose your own path, and it kind of like coming out by itself in unexpected ways. Like I came into Andover as expecting to be like a choral music person, and I very much am. And I'm in Downbeat with Kate. I'm in Fidelio with Kate. I'm in Zoman, and yeah, and I've loved doing that. And it's been such a great community to be part of. I recommend honestly anyone, no matter who you are, like please join chorus when you come in. I promise you'll love it, even if you're not like you think you're not a singing person. But regardless, I ended up finding a lot more like visual art opportunities than I had even expected coming into it, and that was definitely like a big part of what I was looking for when I was applying to schools. I was thinking, okay, I want to have a good music program, I want to have a good visual art program, and I don't know, when I really did not realize what it was going to like the amount of opportunities that I would have to kind of explore here, and I think that was because even if something doesn't exist, there's a ton of opportunities for you to make it. Like you can get an ABBA grant for it, you can do an IP, an independent project, or you can, if I'm taking Art 600 this year as a studio, of course, and you basically, it's self-directed and you can really do whatever you want. Like there's sort of due dates, and you need to get into like certain amounts of arts, but it's really up to you, like how many, like what kind of things you want to pursue and what you really want to focus on. And no one's Art 600 experience is going to look the same. And it's been, I mean, I've only been doing it for a term, and it's one of my favorite classes, maybe my favorite class that I've taken at Andover. And yeah, so, and I think, and now I'm applying to art school for college for visual art. So yeah, but I guess, an unexpected twist of fate, but yeah.
Thanks, Daniela and Lev. Lev.
Sorry, I find myself, I sort of found myself finding inspiration from some upperclassmen into music. And it kind of started with going to the club fair and looking around and seeing all the different clubs that they had to offer. And I got really involved into songwriting. And from that club, the leaders at that club told me about a lot of the curriculum in music. And I think that's a lot where I found I could shine, and I found lots of different opportunities because I started off in music 235 with Miss Landau, and I sort of learned a lot of different basics of music. And that ended up branching off to her recommending me to take obviously the songwriting. There's a songwriting class that I took. And then there was also a music theory class I'm currently taking, and there's a film scoring class I really like to take. And there's just so many different opportunities in curriculum and ways to branch off. And I've also found what's really cool is independent lessons here at PA, because you can take a lesson in whatever different instrument you want. And I've tried 3 instruments. I've tried piano, I've tried guitar, and I've stuck with voice for a bit. And I honestly want to try so many different things, but I've just found so many different options to learn a new thing or express myself. And that's been a really integral part of my experience with music here.
Thanks, Lev. And it sounds like so many of you are involved in so many aspects of arts at Andover. How are you able to balance your arts commitment to your academics and your social life? Kathy.
My arts commitment is my social life. I have like dinner with all of the orchestra people, and it's like it's such a gang. Like we're such a great community. You'll see all of us like just having dinner together. We have like munches. We practice together. So like when you go down to Graves, like everyone from orchestra is just practicing and like finding practice rooms. And there you get conversations too. And also there's this thing called like arts protected time. So it doesn't overlap with your sports. Like I'm in varsity squash and like I can still participate in both orchestras and chamber music. So they really like allow you to like balance all your commitments. Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy. Kate.
Oh, okay, there we go. I think the biggest thing is that you make time for it. Something that's wonderful is that they sort of work around each other. So I know a lot of theater productions and courses are during like our class schedule day, and a lot of music rehearsals are during the evenings, whether it be Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. And then theater productions also can have Wednesday night rehearsals. So I find myself in classes and in evening rehearsals, and sometimes I'll pick up like a chamber thing, and that'll be my Friday mornings at 7 a.m. And while maybe getting up for a 7 a.m. rehearsal is not the most exciting thing, I love to sing, and so I make that choice every day to get up early, to do work during the afternoon block instead of maybe like going to the library and sitting at a table with friends, or it's all about making choices and making priorities because these are the things that you love to do. And so doing a lot of it is very emotionally fulfilling.
Thanks, Kate. And before we split up, oh, sorry, that's my dog in the background. Before we split up into our different meeting sessions, we'd love for everyone to share their one of their favorite moments participating in arts at Andover. Somebody want to start us off?
I think my favorite moment would probably be when I played my first organ ASM. I think I played the Toccata in D minor fugue by Bach. It was like, and I'd only started the organ, I think, like a month before, and it was just like such a rush, I think. And then like they say, oh, someone did this organ thing, and then everyone claps. It's like, oh, kind of exalted in the moment, but yeah.
Thanks, Soman. Daniela.
Yeah, I'm having trouble like picking just one. I think that I don't know. I'll do one that's like a community one where I just when we like came back to sing for the first time together after the pandemic, that was just so emotional. And like I'm gonna be honest, like I went back to my dorm and I cried because I was just so happy to be like back with everybody. And then also honestly just this year being in Art 600 and then specifically, I don't know, like just realizing how many like resources there are available, and it's just like I feel like a kid in the candy store, and it just I don't know, I don't know, it's a really, there's not really another feeling like it where you just are kind of just there's like so many things that you want to do and then you realize that you can do them, and yeah, that was just I don't know, I don't think I'd fully realized that because I don't know, but I had left for the pandemic like late in my lower year, so I hadn't really fully like understood the opportunities on campus until like recently. So
Thanks, Lev. It sounds like you want to add.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite moment in music here on campus was probably last spring. We had a student organized event of a sort of songwriting concert festival where a lot of people gathered in one of our outdoor tents, and we had to be masked, but it was just such like a community moment. And we had lots of different songwriters and singers performing and showing things that they had made. And it was just so incredible to be around so many people that I had never thought of, like, or some I haven't even met who were doing the exact same thing as me. and talked about songwriting. And some of these people I still look up to and keep up with because of how influential they've been on me. And it was honestly just like a really, really heartwarming moment.
Thanks, Lev. Emily?
So I kind of want to add on to Daniela. So definitely like the amount of opportunities there are. So I think one of my experiences would be also in Art 600, which is our year-long art course, where so we're doing a site project. Basically, we have to do an interactive community art project about a important site in Andover. And I'm doing it on the Memorial Bell Tower. And I was writing my art proposal, and I was really thinking like, oh, like I'm going to need like this material and this material. And I was really stressed about like how to cut it down. And then Miss Ovalero, my art teacher, was like, don't worry about it. You know, we'll support you. Obviously, I do have to trim down on the scale, but like, you know, like she's told me to like, don't think about material constraints first, just think about like time, how, if you like, you can do it. And if there's any like skills, seminars or teaching or courses that you have to take to learn it, like we will support you. And I just felt like so blessed to be here in a community where you really, your ideas are really supported and you don't have to feel constrained.
Thanks, Emily. Lexi?
I would say mine also has to do with like coming back from the pandemic. Definitely, Blueshot's first performance after pandemic. We have a lot of like pre-show rituals that we didn't get to do my upper year. So just being able to like have that sort of community building of like having backstage and pre-show just with everyone is like really nice.
Thanks, Lexi. Anyone else? Kathy, for it.
Mine is also like after the pandemic when we had our first concert. It was for family weekend and the chapel was so packed, like everyone was there. And I felt so much joy in like seeing how much interest there was in our orchestra. And like right before that, during like right after second period, we took a group photo. We did a team psych, kind of like emulating the sports hype. We did like a black and white out. So we were like white on the top, black on the bottom. We got a team photo. We had like a little pizza munch right before. And it was just like, we were all just so united and like so happy to be in the orchestra together. And right before our concert, like we were fist bumping each other. And it was just like really cute.
Awesome. Thank you all for sharing. Oh, Melanie, go for it.
Well, I think my favorite experience was probably the faculty directed show we just had very recently, Anonymous, that was directed by Mr. Grimm and actually stage managed by Kate. Lev was also in it. Who is that? I think that's it. But it was just like it was our first big production, I believe, coming back from the pandemic, and we had like a really big cast, and like everyone over the course of the performance was on stage at all times, so it took like a lot of like committing and a lot of focus throughout the course of the entire show, and we all like put 100% into it, and seeing it like fully pay off was such a satisfying feeling, and it was nice to see that happen again on campus.
Thanks, Melanie. Did I leave anyone out? Kate?
I would have to say mine's very similar to Melanie's. I would say that this fall show, but specifically getting to sit in the booth right before our first performance. There was a moment where everyone sort of had a hug together, and I got to see our whole cast together in costume, ready to go, so excited for their first performance. And like getting to see that sense of community from the outside was so powerful.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for sharing your experiences participating in the arts at Andover. What we'll do right now is allow our panelists to sort of exit the space and fill those Zoom rooms. So I put in the chat the links to each of the Zoom rooms. We've got theater and dance, music, and visual arts. So if you have specific questions about those programs, definitely think you should go to them. I'm the arts liaison. My name is Ms. Poultry. If you have any specific questions about submitting video as part of your application, feel free to reach out to me. There are two places that we would love you to use to submit that as part of your application. It's your candidate profile and also your candidate statement. There are places for multimedia. So that being said, I hope you are filling those rooms. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us. Bye.